Okay, welcome to Breathing Buddies. So today we are going to look at a breathing technique called CATANA breathing, which I think I've done once before. Well, I know I've done once before, right back in the early days. But let's give it a go again tonight. And it's a slightly modified version from what I did first time around. We'll get around to that in a minute. But we're going to start with something I haven't done for a few weeks, which is the recovery breath. A nice, easy warm-up. So, sitting up nice and straight. Just getting settled wherever you are right now. And then when you're ready, you're just going to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. And then pinch your nose and hold your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then breathe normally through your nose. And this is that subtle secret weapon in the breathwork armory. So we just do this for a few minutes with a couple of breaths in between. So then when you're ready again, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Pinch your nose, hold your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and breathe in through your nose again. So this is a great way of settling the breathing, getting breathing volume back down to a kind of a more appropriate level after usually most of us have been hyperventilating a little bit during the day. So then when you're ready again, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Pinch your nose, hold your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then breathe normally through your nose again. So this also stimulates the production of nasal nitric oxide, one of the important gases in respiration. That's triggered through breathing through the nose. And when you're ready, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Pinch your nose, hold your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and breathe normally through your nose. So when we pinch the nose, that causes the nitric oxide to pool in the nasal cavity. Then we inhale back through the nose, draw it into the lungs. When we breathe through the nose, we more like to engage the diaphragm, so it draws the nitric oxide deep into the lungs. So when you're ready again, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose, and pinch your nose, but hold your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing normally again. So nitric oxide is vasodilator, bronchodilator. It has antihistamic properties, antiviral, antibacterial. It's kind of a wonder gas, which is only produced in decent quantities when we breathe through our nose. So again, when you're ready, breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Pinch your nose and hold your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and breathe normally through your nose. Also, when we do this, this is the beginnings. It's a warm-up for doing more hypercapnic breath work. So when we're going to do the high carbon dioxide breathing light, this is just kind of getting a teaspoon of carbon dioxide into the mix to get the body ready for that. So then when you're ready, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Pinch your nose and hold your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing normally through your nose again. It's a great one to do first thing in the morning to wake you up, last thing at night to get yourself settled for bed. I sometimes use it after an evening meal when I'm flagging a little bit, and it kind of gives me a bit more energy. It's a jack of all trades. So we're going to move on now. Do some breathe deep. What I'd like you to do though is just to isolate that the feeling of breathing low into the belly, into the abdomen, by putting your hands above your head. So in a prayer position if you can. If not, then hands a bit further apart. And then just breathe deeply. Don't need to strain upwards too much. Try and relax the shoulders. And breathe deep, low into the belly. And when we do this, it just kind of isolates that area a little bit more. Hopefully you can feel the movements of the breath in 360 degrees around the body as you inhale. The expansion in 360 degrees. Now, of course, it's not very nice to have your arms above your head for too long, so as soon as you tire of that, you can put your arms down on your lap, or maybe you could put a hand on your chest and one on your belly. if you want a bit more feedback. If you've gone for the latter approach, breathing slowly and deeply, just see if you can get the movement of that top hand down to 0 or close to 0. Little to no movement. Instead, just feeling the belly expand on each inhalation, contracting on each exhalation, very naturally, very gently. If your hand's there, feeling the hand rise and fall. Feeling the lower ribs expanding outwards on each inhalation, contracting inwards on each exhalation. Okay, before we get too relaxed, I'm going to place your hands on your lap. We are going to have a go now at the CATANA breathing. So I'm going to go through the instructions for this first, then we'll have a go. There are a few stages to it, and yeah, I'll talk through them and I'll guide us through it as we go. So always remembering we're going to be breathing deep and low, but we're also going to be taking some bigger breaths at the beginning as well. So the idea is we take 6 big breaths in and out. So it'd be like in, out, deep into the belly, really feeling a big expansion. So we're actually doing some hyperventilation, which is what we don't normally do in breathing buddies at this time of night. We're going to do 6 breaths like that. Then at the end of the 6th breath, we'll inhale, hold the breath for 5 seconds. Then exhale, hold for 10 seconds. Then inhale, and then just hold the breath for as long as you feel comfortable. And after that, just kind of ease off into breathing slowly. So I'll guide through that. So what we need to do is get yourself ready. We're going to be doing 6 big rounds of inhalation and exhalation to begin with. So if you want to exhale, then breathe in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Then breathe in and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale to a neutral lung and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Now hold your breath for as long as you feel comfortable. See how this makes you feel. And then when you've finished holding your breath, just a nice, easy, relaxed exhalation. Then breathe slowly, however you define feeling slowly right now. We'll do 2 more rounds. This is called CATANA breathing, which is a, what's the term, a portmanteau, is it? Of a catabolic and anabolic. So this is a balancing act between under and over breathing, hypoventilation and hyperventilation. So when we're ready, we're going to go again. Exhale, and then breathe in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Inhale and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale and hold for as long as you feel comfortable holding your breath. And at the end of that period, gentle, slow exhalation, leading into some slow breathing. So this is can be quite an invigorating feeling, but at the same time, it also fosters a feeling of mental calmness. Works biochemically. We're moving between being normal capnic through low carbon dioxide, hypocapnic, which is something we don't normally do, which is through the hyperventilation, and then to hypercapnic by holding our breaths. And psychologically, it activates both the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, final round. So when you're ready, exhale, then breathe in, out, 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 in, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale, hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in and hold your breath for as long as you feel comfortable. Now just bask in this feeling for a little while. So if any of these exercises, the proof is in the pudding, and how does it make you feel? Is it kind of invigorating but calming at the same time? Or does it not work like that for you? Now, in case that was a little more invigorating than we might normally, more invigorating in practice than we might normally have at this time in the evening, we'll settle things down now. So let's breathe a little bit less air. Let's move to breathe light. So you're breathing slowly. Now I just invite you to breathe a little bit less air. If you've been breathing 100%, filling your lungs to 100%, even if it wasn't completely filling them, can you, relatively speaking, take that down to 70%? Now we're looking to create a little bit of air hunger being that feeling that you would like to be breathing a little bit more air. If you've done this before, and you're familiar with that feeling, are you finding it any more difficult? I'm going to suggest more difficult today to get to that feeling. Or maybe easier, I don't know. The reason I pose it like that is that we've done some hyperventilation, which means we're exhaling more carbon dioxide than is useful to be exhaling. It's kind of like taking the floor away. You've got a glass ceiling. When the carbon dioxide, when the concentration gets to a certain point, you're triggered to take a breath. By hyperventilating, that ceiling doesn't change, but we kind of take the floor away. We artificially change the amount of time we can hold our breath for. It makes us feel like we're more tolerant to carbon dioxide than we actually are. It can mean that it's harder to find the air hunger, which means you just need to try a little bit harder. Breathe a little bit less air. Imagine you're watching yourself breathing. Can you hide your breathing from yourself? If that's not too meta. When we breathe light, it's quiet. It's relatively still. So we're going to find that edge. Find the edge of the air hunger and just hang out there. You might start to feel hands getting warmer, feet getting warmer. You might find you're salivating. Some people find they salivate because it's triggering a relaxation response, parasympathetic nervous system. And this practice can lead to some what can appear to be superhuman feats, but they aren't. There's a study came out of Japan. A hatha yogi. I was going to say a professional, maybe not. What's the right word? An expert yogi, who reduced their breathing. They reduced their breathing down to a rate of 1 breath per minute, and maintained that for 1 hour. This is in a peer-reviewed paper, which could seem superhuman, but it's not. It's just training the body in this very subtle way to become more comfortable with the feeling of higher levels of carbon dioxide in the blood. I think they must have been feeling pretty blissed out by the end of that hour. Okay, now I can drop the breathing line. Just take some low breaths, some deep breaths into the bottom of the lungs. I'm going to do some counting for you now. I'm going to try and do now some triangular breathing. So we're going to be breathing in for 4, then out for 4, then holding for 4. And then after a while I'll switch to breathing in for 4, out for 6, and hold for 2. So it's the same length of the cycle, but just a slightly different pattern. So we need to get in sync. So when you're ready, exhale, then breathe in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, in, out, hold. Inhale, exhale, and hold. Now I'm going to switch it up now. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Out for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And pause. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Breathe in and out. Pause. Inhale and exhale. Pause. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. I'm going to drop the count now. In, out. And then just concentrate now on breathing slowly, extending the exhalation. How slow can you go? We're at roughly 6 breaths per minute as I was counting. Maybe a little slower. Can you slow it down even more? Can you slow it down until you feel a little bit of air hunger? It's another way of getting to that point where we can cause a little bit of hormetic stress and get the body to adapt. It's slightly more gentle than the breathe light exercise. Okay, just a couple more breaths. As long as you're not breathing at 1 breath per minute anyway. And when you're ready, start to deepen the breath or speed the breath or do whatever it needs to, your body needs now to get back into its rhythm. Thank you for coming along to the session this week.